Hey YouTube, this is Res Music Park Fan 62. WWE themes have to change. Some themes are fine, but a lot of the themes throughout Raw, SmackDown, and even a few NXT themes are good. On NXT, for example, themes like Sol Ruka, with her having like that beach vibe to it, hers fits her theme. Zarya, with her having like that badass, want to kick your butt, hers fits that. Um, and on Raw, Liv's theme sort of fits her, and there's several others. But the problem is a majority of the themes out there either A, don't fit the wrestler that well, or B, are just very generic. So, for example, on SmackDown, Caden Carter and Katana Chance, theirs sort of fits their gimmick with them being party girls, and you hear that like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then like that party type feel to it. That is fine. But there are a lot out there when you're like, what? So, for example, the Judgment Day, they came out to this new theme that's like a rap bass. And if you go back and listen to the Royal Rumble for Raquel Gonzalez or Rodriguez, whatever she wants to call herself, as well as Finn Balor for the men, it's almost like complete silence as you're just like, what? But like that is the thing. These themes have to change. The theme is the first thing you hear when you hear a new wrestler, or see a new wrestler, I should say. The problem is a lot of these themes out there are just very generic. They just do what they can to make it go by. Now, there are times where parties like Def Rebel and them will make it similar to their old theme without making it seem like their old theme. So, for example, Babyface Naomi, when she came back, she used her old theme from CFO. And then not long after, they came out with a new theme. But the thing was, her new theme has a lot of similar traits to it that from her theme in TNA. So that is one of the big problems, is they make it seem like, it's enough to get it good enough without, basically having the copyright. But but then there are themes out there in WWE where you're just like, what? So for example, you have AJ Styles. So at WrestleMania last year, he debuted a new theme. It was by Def Rebel, and it was through a rapper named Stevie Stone, and you could hear him go, "You don't want none," and then him rapping to whatever. And then Bayley introduced a new theme, as well as you hear "Role Model." That's another thing Def Rebel does. I'll get into in a minute. But the problem is Bayley hasn't used the role model type in a while since she turned heel a few years ago. So I don't know entirely why they would put something like that in. But the main problem is that a lot of these themes out there are just so generic and stuff like that. And it seems like with certain stars, they get a new theme every time they come on screen. People like Logan Paul. Seems like half of the time when he comes on, you hear a new theme. And then you have DIY who gets a new theme. The problem with DIY is for some reason, since they came up, partially it's because of their theme, has just not connected with the crowd. And it's one of those situations where you have to wonder what's going on. The two that come to mind where you don't really hear the crowd much to any is DIY and Motor City Machine Guns that debuted in 2024. And it's just for some reason with those two groups in particular, they just never seem to get over. And then the other tag team that confuses you as a viewer if they're heels or faces or not is the Street Profits, because right now they're acting like heels, but they're coming out to their babyface theme, which makes you go, what? There is a lot of it where it seems like, especially in NXT, to the most part, the themes fit the wrestler. So with Carmen Petrovich, for example, she has like a gimmick where she has a sword with her, and so she does this stuff with the sword. So at the beginning you hear the swish, 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 swish. And then her holding it, that fits her. And the main problem is that so it seems like once you go up, that's where the themes make you go, what is happening here? There is a lot of this where I just don't know if there is a miscommunication or what, but it seems like one of the biggest things I heard with Def Rebel is, and I'm not sure if this is entirely true or not, is there's really no communication between Def Rebel and the superstar in question. So they just go by probably very little information. So, and that is one of the main problems, is because you can't go by someone saying, oh, here's this person, this is their character, good luck. You need, because from what I hear, in AEW, for example, Mikey Ruckus, who makes the themes for AEW, talks with the wrestler or whoever, and that's where a lot of the themes come from, is through that communication. You don't get that with Def Rebel. That is one of the main problems, which is why AEW's themes sound somewhat better. Now, am I saying all of their themes are amazing? Absolutely not. but I am saying certain themes fit the character better. And also, the other main problem with some of the themes out there are you will get the same song and then some minor changes. Listen to Roxanne Perez's theme. So, with her face theme, I'm sure you guys have heard it. Then with her heel theme, it's the exact same in opening, but then once they start getting into some of the sayings in the song, kind of gets muffled. So that is the type of thing. But then there are stars who have been with WWE for such a long time who have had great songs, and then they get something that is terrible. For example, with Sheamus. He's been with WWE for like 10 to 15 years now, and he's had some theme songs that have been well known and everything, like the one that talks about lobster head and stuff like that, and then his other one. But then now he has the current one through Def Rebel, which has gotten a lot of negative attention. It seems like with Def Rebel in general, it seems like there are more bad themes than good themes. Good themes, there are only a handful. So you're talking about men like Roman Reigns, former WWE star Bobby Lashley, and there are several others out there. But the problem is most of the ones out there today are just not great. But then there are some that sound almost similar. So two people that come to mind is Gunther and then Ludwig Kaiser. So listen to their themes, and they almost sound similar. Now, I get they're both European, and I get they sort of have that European elegance to them, I guess you could say. But the main problem is, with them sounding very similar, you might as well just give Ludwig Kaiser Gunther's theme for when he comes out. And that is one of the main problems. But then, if you look at the division as a whole, and you listen to all of their themes, it seems like the ones that typically get the biggest responses are either ones that have third-party themes and or they are well-known stars. Some that come to mind, CM Punk, who uses Cult of Personality. One that uses Def Rebel, but it has gotten over, has Seth Rollins. Now, there have been stars out there who have had multiple theme songs with their gimmick. One that comes to mind is Alexa Bliss. So in NXT, she had, when she was a babyface, she had her babyface theme, which made her seem like a fairy. So when she turned heel, she used Spiteful for the longest time, and that's what got her over. Now, when she went up, she still used Spiteful until she started this transformation with Bray Wyatt. And so this is where her next theme comes into play several months later, called The Fury, which is a remix, almost like a remix version of Fury with some minor differences. That one in particular is good because it still uses Spiteful, but with some minor differences. But then once she fully transformed, for a while she was using The Evil Is Mine. And this one just felt like they had to get it out. There was really no rush because you could hear her go, "The evil is mine," and then saying some other stuff. And then once she so then she started using another theme called Fight Me. And that one was good because it wasn't like the others, but it was its own thing. And then Def Rebel, being Def Rebel, they decided to remix it. So it was called like Dead Face or something like that. I forgot what it was called. So now since she's come back, she started using The Fury again. So the problem is, I feel like with certain stars, they're just not entirely sure how to keep a certain theme for them. And I would like to start seeing more third-party themes out there. Am I saying every single wrestler out there needs a third-party theme? Absolutely not. But certain wrestlers should probably get third-party themes just because it probably would fit them. But then you have someone like The Rock, who for the past 2 times now, maybe 3, he's come out to his traditional theme, and then about halfway through, it switches to something else. You're like, what? So if you go back and rewatch SmackDown from a couple of weeks ago when it was in New Orleans, he came out to like a Lil Wayne remix mixed in with his theme, which was when they introduced WrestleMania for next year in New Orleans. So the biggest problem is with some of these is that a lot of these just need to be fixed, because when they come out to some of these themes, the crowd is like dead silent. They're like, what is happening here? Or who is this person? Something like that. But I'm going to make another video about wrestlers who I think need new themes, and why.